In the heart of South Asia lies a nation born from struggle and resilience, Bangladesh. The genesis of Bangladesh is a tale of the human spirit, resilience, and the struggle for identity. It is a story that begins long before the birth of the nation in 1971. To understand the liberation war of Bangladesh, we need to travel back in time, to the period of British rule in the Indian subcontinent. The British Raj held sway over the region for almost 2 centuries, from the mid-18th to the mid-20th century. The land that is now Bangladesh was a part of this vast British colony. In 1947, the sun finally set on the British Empire in the Indian subcontinent, leading to the partition of India. From the ashes of the British Raj, 2 new nations emerged, India and Pakistan. Pakistan was envisioned as a homeland for the Muslims of the Indian subcontinent. It was a unique country, comprising 2 geographically separated parts, West and East Pakistan. Despite being thousands of miles apart, they were bound together by the common thread of religion. But the ties of religion proved to be feeble against the strong currents of cultural and linguistic differences. The people of East Pakistan were predominantly Bengali-speaking, with a rich cultural heritage that was distinct from their Urdu-speaking counterparts in the West. The economic disparities between the 2 wings only served to widen the gulf. East Pakistan, despite being the more populous region and a major contributor to the country's economy, was systematically marginalized and exploited. These disparities and injustices fueled discontent among the people of East Pakistan. They yearned for recognition, for respect, for their rights. They yearned for a state where their language, their culture, and their economic contributions would be valued. The seeds of rebellion were sown, and the desire for autonomy grew stronger with each passing day. The stage was set for a battle of identity, of rights, and ultimately, of liberation. March 7, 1971, a day that would forever be etched in the hearts of the Bangladeshi people. The spark of resistance was ignited amidst a backdrop of escalating political tensions. A wave of discontent had been brewing in the East, fueled by the economic and political disparity with West Pakistan. It was a time of unrest, a time of uncertainty. Amidst this turbulence, a beacon of hope emerged in the form of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. His charismatic leadership and impassioned speeches resonated with the people, echoing their desire for self-determination. On this significant day, the 7th of March, Rahman delivered a historic speech at the racecourse ground in Dhaka. His words were a clarion call for civil disobedience, a call for the people to stand up for their rights. Struggle this time, the struggle is for our freedom. Struggle this time, the struggle is for our independence. His words reverberated through the crowd, igniting a fire of resistance that would forever change the course of the nation's history. However, the West Pakistani regime responded with brute force, launching a military crackdown known as Operation Searchlight. Their aim was to suppress the burgeoning nationalist movement in East Pakistan, to snuff out the spark of resistance. But their actions only stoked the flames of rebellion. Under the cover of darkness on the night of March 25th, they began their assault. But the people of Bangladesh were undeterred. They had tasted the bitter pill of oppression, and they were ready to fight for their freedom. Their spirit was unbroken, their resolve unyielding. In the face of such adversity, the Bangladeshi people stood tall. They rallied together, bolstered by a shared sense of purpose and a burning desire for independence. The first fires of resistance were lit, casting a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. Under the dark skies of March 25th, the first fires of resistance were lit. The call for independence echoed through the fertile plains and mighty rivers of East Pakistan. As the echoes grew louder, a force was rising from the ashes of oppression, the Mukti Bahini. This liberation army, composed primarily of Bengali regulars and civilians, became the beacon of resistance against the oppressors. Their unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom was what kept the flame of resistance alive during those long, dark nights. The Mukti Bahini, despite being outnumbered and outgunned, fought with a ferocity that was fueled by their burning desire for freedom. They carried out guerrilla warfare and conventional battles against the oppressors, each victory, no matter how small, strengthening their resolve. The Battle of Kamalpur, the Battle of Hilli, the Battle of Boira. These are not just names of conflicts, but testaments to the courage and resilience of a people fighting for their right to exist. In the midst of the unfolding war, India played a pivotal role. As a neighboring nation with shared cultural and historical ties, India provided refuge to the millions fleeing the violence in East Pakistan. But their involvement didn't stop there. India offered political, diplomatic, and military support to the Mukti Bahini, a move that tipped the scales of the war in favor of the freedom fighters. However, the Liberation War was not just a regional conflict. It garnered international attention and response. Countries like the United States and China, driven by their own geopolitical interests, initially supported Pakistan. But as reports of the atrocities committed during the war reached the global stage, the international community began to question their stance. Despite the politics and power plays, the voices of the oppressed could not be silenced. The war was not without its dark days. Atrocities were committed on a scale that shook the very core of humanity. The systematic persecution of intellectuals, the mass killings, the genocidal acts, these were the tragic costs of the Liberation War. The human toll was immense, with estimates suggesting that up to 3 million people lost their lives. These grim figures serve as a stark reminder of the price of freedom and the depths to which humanity can sink in the pursuit of power. Yet in the face of such overwhelming adversity, the people of Bangladesh did not falter. Their spirit remained unbroken, their resolve unshaken. They fought not just with guns and grenades, but with their hearts and souls, their dreams of a free and independent nation fueling their resistance. As the year came to a close, the fires of resistance remained undimmed, burning brighter than ever. Their fight was not in vain. The sacrifices made, the lives lost, the horrors endured, all paved the way for the dawn of a new nation, Bangladesh. December 16, 1971, a new dawn broke over the land of Bengal. This was not just another day. It was a day of victory, a day of liberation, a day when the sun rose over a newly independent nation, Bangladesh. The last days of the war were a whirlwind of events. The struggle of the Bengali people had reached a crescendo. The Pakistani forces, beleaguered and outnumbered, were on the brink of surrender. The battlefields were filled with the echoes of gunfire, and the air was thick with tension. But amidst the chaos, there was a glimmer of hope. In the early hours of that fateful day, the Pakistani forces finally surrendered. The signing of the Instrument of Surrender marked the end of the 9-month-long Liberation War, and with it, the end of an era of oppression. But this was not merely the end. It was a beginning of a journey for a newborn nation. Bangladesh was free. Its declaration of independence was a testament to the courage, resilience, and indomitable spirit of the Bengali people. Their dream of a sovereign, democratic nation had finally come true. The joyous celebrations that followed were a sight to behold. The air was filled with a sense of relief and exhilaration. The streets were awash with the colors of the Bangladeshi flag, and the sound of jubilant cheers echoed through the cities and villages. Yet, amidst the celebrations, there was a sobering reality. The war had left deep scars. The country was ravaged, its economy shattered, and its people traumatized. The challenges that lay ahead were immense: rebuilding the nation, healing the wounds of war, and forging a path towards progress. These were the tasks that awaited the newly independent Bangladesh. The journey was not going to be easy, but the people of Bangladesh, emboldened by their hard-won freedom, were ready to face these challenges head-on. They were determined to build a nation that was reflective of their aspirations, their dreams, and their spirit. From the ashes of war, a new nation was born, Bangladesh, the land of the Bengalis. The Liberation War of Bangladesh is a testament to the indomitable spirit of its people. This struggle for independence was not just a fight against oppression, but a quest to establish a nation rooted in unity, dignity, and freedom. This war has left an indelible mark on the national psyche, shaping the character of Bangladesh and its people. In the years since independence, Bangladesh has made remarkable strides. From a war-ravaged nation, it has emerged as a developing country with promising growth. Its people, resilient and determined, continually draw strength from their shared history and the sacrifices made during the Liberation War. The legacy of the war endures, not as a relic of the past, but as a beacon guiding the path forward. It serves as a constant reminder of the courage, resilience, and unity that define the Bangladeshi spirit. More than a half-century later, the echoes of the Liberation War still resonate, a reminder of the price of freedom and the power of a people united.